everything. We're past the 10 minutes and we can't have a meeting tonight. So we did open it at 7:30 for a reason. There was nothing said other than opening the meeting. So now we need a motion to reconvene.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
All in favor?
Your worship.
Carried. The opening prayer will be done by Les Fisher from the Full Gospel Church. Is he here? Yes, thank you, Les.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks again for allowing me to come and open up the meeting prayer tonight. Thank you. Would you bow with me, please? I'd like to read from the Word of God tonight. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 15. It says, "Therefore, Paul said, after I heard of your faith in the Lord and your love for all the saints, do not cease to give thanks for you, making mention of you in my prayers. The God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give to you spirit of wisdom, revelation of knowledge of him, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that you may know what is the hope of his calling, the riches of his glory, and the inheritance of the saints. What is the exceeding greatness of his power toward us who believe, according to the working of his mighty power, that which he worked in Christ, far above principality, power, might, and dominion, in every name that's named, not only in this age, but the age to come. He put all things under his feet and gave Jesus to be head over all things to the church." This passage of Scripture tonight, you can open your eyes for a minute with me. And when I read the Word of God, we usually close our eyes and meditate on it. But tonight, back in 1867, when Howard Tilley was given the inspiration to say that Canada's name should be the Dominion of Canada, and he got that from the Word, from Psalm 7:2. And my prayer tonight, the continuing of that prayer, will be the same for you, that God would give you new and innovative ideas, that he would bring unity, not uniformity, to your council meetings, that staff and counselors would have unity amongst themselves, that God gave great praise to all who honor his name, and above all, that God will get the credit, not man. And we have the privilege in Canada of still naming God as our source, and we thank the government of Canada for not relinquishing that part. So I'd like to pray again for you, and just pray that tonight will be a night of unity, a night of good decisions that will affect Strathmore in a good and positive way. And so, Heavenly Father, I just ask now, after reading your word tonight, we thank you that our country of Canada was founded on your word, that God, you are still God of Canada, God of Strathmore. And we thank you tonight for our mayor, council, and staff, and we pray, God, that they would have very new and innovative ideas, and they would be in unity together for the peace and the prosperity of Strathmore. And we will give you the glory and not man. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm called over the public hearing in Strathmore Municipal Council, October 5th at 7:40 night. The purpose of this bylaw, number 1110, is to amend the town's municipal development plan, MDP number 9811, to address and develop policies for lands that were annexed into the town of Strathmore from Weedman County in 210. And Tammy, do you want to move forward, or do you want me to read the rest, or are you going to read it?
It's up to you.
You go ahead and read it.
Sure. Basically, the proposed text of the amendment is to add a section H to read annexed lands. 1, to protect future long-term urban growth options. Rural-style developments will be discouraged. 2, no subdivisions will be allowed in the south half of 2124-25 west of 4th Meridian and section 1624-25 west of 4th Meridian. The town will consider a subdivision on these lands only when a developer has received approval by bylaw from town council for an area restricted plan that shows the long-term growth plan for all 6 of the quarter sections. 3, the town, as a member of the Calgary Regional Partnership, will observe the density requirements in the Calgary Metropolitan Plan when considering any proposals for residential development on these lands. And 4, The town will allow a continuation of any agricultural operations and uses in these lands, however, will not support any intensification of these operations.
Thank you. Is there any confirmations or notices?
The bylaw was advertised for 2 consecutive weeks in the September 23rd and September 30th Strathmore Times.
And we have a report from you as
Yes.
attached.
And I have a brief summary.
Pardon me?
I have a brief summary as well.
Perfect.
As part of the board order written by the Municipal Government Board with respect to the annexation decision in 2010, provisions were made such that the town was to amend our Municipal Development Plan, or MDP, to address the 18.5 quarter sections that were annexed, as well as address policy issues to look at the town's long-term vision for these lands. That's basically what a Municipal Development Plan is. The four provisions reflect this. What I'll do is I'll just point to the particular areas of interest. The area with regards to the two provisions of subdivision and annexation are the 6 west quarter sections of land. The remaining quarters are at the top of the north, all the way down here, including this area, this quarter section, as well as this quarter section. So that was a significant area that was annexed. These lands were annexed for a 50-year land inventory for the future. So therefore, we hope that these 4 provisions are going to address the issues of making sure that long-term planning, as well as the possibility of doing urban-style development, is protected. So that's why we are promoting fewer subdivisions of 10-acre parcels, 5-acre parcels, because it does make it very difficult to plan around those parcels. And basically, what, as it says, there were actually no copies of agency responses because nobody responded. But we did send it to the regular agencies as well as Wheatland County.
So there are no written submissions?
That is correct, Your Worship.
Are they persons wishing to be heard? Not council, any questions?
The student chair to Tammy on these amendments, proposed text of the amendment. Is there any indication as to what the density of these annexed lands will be?
The provision number 3, because of our involvement with the Calgary Regional Partnership, overall the preference for residential densities are 8.5 to 10 units per gross acre. And at this point in time, the town is pretty darn close to that already in what we call the greenfield areas, or the areas that have no infill potential and whatnot. So we are actually very, very close, and the Calgary Regional Partnership has already recognized the fact and are very happy with our decisions thus far with the greenfield areas.
Thank you.
Council Best?
Just for clarification, I'm going to the first page, H1, where you talk of rural style development. So let me clarify that, please.
Again, the rural style developments have to do more so with, a 5-acre parcel, another 2-acre parcel, or a 10-acre parcel. So basically, your what they like to call first parcel outs, or second and third parcel outs. What it does is it makes it very difficult to try to plan roads or access points. One particular one that I'd like to highlight is, if we don't protect it, if you don't mind.
Yes, yeah.
Is Orchard Park, how there are many subdivided parcels adjacent to whatever roadways, but really it's going to be extremely difficult to try to plan a very fluid road system for the interior parcels. So that's the reason why we're hoping not to have piecemeal subdivisions, so that we can actually have a more comprehensive planned area, rather than having little pieces that are very disjunctured and very hard to access. Because part of the requirements for a subdivision is you have to have access to a roadway, or as approved by the subdivision authority. Our preference, obviously, is to have a frontage off of a roadway.
Okay, thank you.
My other concern is that some of these people who have been living rural for some number of years on an acreage style, acreage or so to speak, would be wanting to build barns and that. Is there provisions in our bylaw to handle that?
Your worship, at this time, we do still have to adhere to the land use bylaw of Woodland County, because currently those are agriculture general. So again, what we're trying to do is at least create those policies where we will sort of discourage any, like I said, that intensification. So provision number 4 may capture that. Also, there is the potential that if council so desires, we could take it one more step further and create an urban fringe type area. I know we already have one, but we could do it more in the lines of that sort of our area where we prefer to have the existing agricultural operations continue, because that was part of the board order, but again, no additional intensification. So we still have to abide by the wheatland counties, because that's what the designation is currently.
So when does that expire?
Until a property owner requests to have the redesignation put through.
No, but I'm saying.
Never, never.
Pardon me?
Never, never.
Are you saying that the agriculture operation, if I want to put up a chicken barn, that could go on for the next 10 years?
With the current operations, it's potentially, yes, it could continue to operate. But as it notes on number 4, we would not support an intensification. So current operations can occur, but if you're trying to intensify, then we will discourage it.
But
so our decisions will be that we would not support that.
And that would come to council then, and we could nix it?
That actually is under the discretion of the Planning and Development Department.
Okay. Thank you. Any further questions?
Your worship?
Yes.
Chair, the timing, so H4 basically it's just business as usual for the time being until a land developer comes in with an ASP plan? Is that what I understand H4 is going to be?
Yes.
Just a continuation of what they're doing now?
That's correct.
Nothing changes?
That's correct.
Thank you.
If there's no other further questions to administration, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Your worship, I would make a motion that the public hearing be closed on bylaw number 11-22.
The other motion, no further discussion, all in favor? Carried. Any additions to the agenda, councillors?
Your worship, I'd like to add on your committee's walkability, just on the reports, the committee reports. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was that?
Walkability.
Walkability. Anything else, councillor?
Your worship, on page 5, it talks about the minutes from, well, first of all, page 4 mentions the minutes from September 21st, 2011, and then at the top of page 5 it says September 7th, 2011. Is that correct?
There's an error there.
Okay, so it should read September 21st?
Point of order, that'll come up on
Under
amendments.
Under the minutes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Anything else? Scotland administration?
Yes, Your Worship. 5.2, Citizen of the Month. 7.1 should be taken off. And 12.1, AAA Bison Program Advertising. AAA Bison Program Advertising. And that's it, Your Worship.
What was the last one? What number?
12.1.
Your worship, I would move to accept the agenda as amended.
All heard the motion. All in favor? Carried. And I'm sorry, I missed the one for taking out 7.1.
Yes.
Thank you. Previous minutes, adoption of the September 21st minutes, 4-1.
I move to adopt the minutes for September 21st, 2011 committee of the whole meeting.
All in favor? Carried. Adoption of September 21st, two regular council minutes. Grade 4. That's where the error is that correct?
Yeah, sorry, Your Worship, I just wanted to amend or change the date on the top of page 5 to read September 21st.
Correct.
And I was at that meeting, so it says regrets Pat Field, but I was at September 21st meeting. It was the 7th that I was away.
Noted. Okay, all in favor?
Your Worship, I would ask to abstain from this as I was not at these meetings. I can't really agree to the minutes because I don't know what happened at the meetings.
Duly taken. Motion to accept as amended.
That amendment should be made as well, because I think the minute shows Councillor Best present.
So the 3 amendments.
Your Worship, I would move that Council adopt the September 21st, 2011 regular Council meeting minutes with amendments.
I hold the motion. All in favor? Carried. Delegation, Mr. Van Bossel, water bill. Please come forward. Mike, I should be on, I think.
Thank you. It's not so much, Your Worship, about the water bill, it's about the sewer. I used 100,000 liters of water in my garden because my plants needed it. Not one drop of the water went in the sewer. And I had to pay $240 on that sewer because the water rate goes by the sewer. So whatever water I use, whether it goes to the sewer or not, storm or sanitary sewer, I paid for it. I'm not caring about the water bill. My friends need water, they'll get it. This is sewer, $240 I paid into the sewer.
Well,
That
Mike,
water bill of $600, yeah, and $240 that did not go in the sewer.
and that's true, and I can hear you. I hear what you're saying, but just if you can understand for 1 minute, we just built a $35 million sewer plant. How it's paid, it has to be paid for. The cost of operating that sewer plant is $4.6 million per annum. That figure is a set figure. We've looked at it. We cannot change it. Somebody has to pay that figure. We can only, or that operational cost, whether your water goes in there or not, the sewer bill has to be paid. And the plant is there. The operation costs are there. We've looked at every way possible of deducting those costs, but we can't. So that we only got one person to get that money from. That's the taxpayer. And there is a formula that you work out that relates to your water bill. Yes, it's true. For the most part, most water that's used goes down the sewer. I know that lawns and gardens are different, but because it does go into most of it, or 90% would go into the garden, but we have no other way of adjusting it.
Your Honor, there is a town in this province by the name of Coaldale. Coaldale gets the water from Lesbridge, and they have a sewer plant too. The sewer rate is the same as ours, not the same. The winter months, they say that you say, let's say 50 cubic meters a month. In the summer they use 80. They don't pay the sewer on the 30 cubic meters of water. And I can't see why I should pay for the sewer that I don't use. I'm paying already for a skating rink I don't use, for a swimming pool I don't use. Now I have to pay for the damn sewer I don't use too. I don't believe this. Now, my water does not go. I had everything. I hand sprayed everything this year, so I wouldn't have water running all over the place like 2 years ago when I was in East of water. A lot cheaper, I tell you that. But you people caboose that too. I hate to pay for a sewer that I don't use. I don't give a damn how much it costs. But now it's one taxpayer, just because he uses the water in his garden, he has to pay for the sewer that he doesn't use.
So how do you suggest we do it?
Well, I don't care how you pay for that thing, but don't make me pay for it. You know, that's not water that goes into the sewer. That's my argument. It does not go into the sewer, so I shouldn't have to pay for the sewer. It doesn't use, my water doesn't use that sewer.
All I'm saying is that there's a formula that we're using.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. That cost me a hell of a lot of money for the formula. You know, this skating rink, swimming pool, schools. I don't have no grandchildren, no children, so I still pay for it. I don't argue the point. I'm arguing a point about a sewer that I don't use. That's the big point. And that can be very easy to these computers. You can very easily say, fine, that water doesn't go. In the winter you use 50 cubic meters, or somebody use 100 cubic meters, you don't pay the sewer.
Is there go ahead.
A little over a year ago, before this council, we used to have sewer averaging, and the previous council decided to get rid of sewer averaging. So what we would do is, we'd take your average during the winter, and we would average it and use that in the summer.
Right.
But anyway, so it was changed to this method. If we don't keep doing this method, yes, we can change the computer program and all, but we still have to have the money, like the mayor said, to pay for the plant. So if we do that, and do go back to sewer averaging, we're going to have to raise the sewer rate anyway. So people will still be paying a lot.
I wouldn't be paying up to $140 extra.
You'd still be paying more.
Yeah, it'll go against your taxes then.
Okay.
It goes against your taxes then. We got to get the money someplace.
I want to raise my taxes another $1,000.
The taxes will probably be raised this year. Yeah, they probably will. But just operational costs alone.
I can't understand this. You know, these people. I really can't understand this. I can't understand this. That I have to pay for the sewer that I don't use.
Your Worship, if I
Go
could.
ahead.
My question, or I guess my comment is, we all have to pay extra. We all have to pay more because we have a sewer treatment plant that was put in so that this town could expand and grow. And as the mayor said, we have operational costs that have to be incurred by all of us. So I understand what you're saying about the water, but you do use the sewer. You are using the sewer. You're getting the benefit of a sewer treatment plant. We do have to do something with the effluent that is a byproduct of all the people living in here. So we have to pay to have an up-to-date proper sewer treatment plant that everybody is making use of. So it does have to be paid for in some way. Like, this was put in for the benefit of the town, and I understand what you're saying, but we all have had our sewer levies go up, but we all have the benefit of a new sewer treatment plant that's supposed to be state-of-the-art and should help us. And we're looking at ways to cut down the operation costs, but those haven't happened yet. So,
Are you saying you have a big garden, Mr. Benson?
Well, you know, my plants are my, whatever you call them.
You're like
my cats.
Yeah.
If they're with water, I water them. I don't say, well, damn it, you know, I can't afford the sewer. But, you know, I figure, I don't mind paying for 100,000 liters of water. I don't like it, but I have to because the Lord didn't give me no waters. Maybe the men should raise some more for water. We did the prayer tonight. Maybe we get it, you know what I mean? But he doesn't, he looks at me and said, Martin, you're so good, you pay. You want to grow a garden. I got enough food and enough fruit for wine, so I got food and wine, lots. But, you know, this time my tomatoes cost me something like $5 a pound because of the sewer rate that I don't use. That kind of foolish, isn't it? So
maybe we have to look at that from your point of view too. I mean, you know, we can't.
That's the whole thing. You know what I mean? I know the plant has to be paid for. Okay, so let's, you know, I've lived here for 28 years now. I paid for a hell of a lot of plants around this town. And now I have to pay for some more plants.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
I know, but I mean, you know, I'm maybe the only nut that uses 50,000 liters of water or 1,500 liters of water a day.
You're in the top 5%.
For a garden.
You're in the top 5%, by the way.
Yeah, no. But none of that goes in the sewer. That's why, not either the storm or the...
Well, some of your house does go in the sewer. Some of it does. Percentage does.
No.
I mean, you flush the toilet, you do laundry, you do, a percentage does.
Well, sure, I'm not arguing about the other 50,000 cubic meters, or 50,000 liters. I'm arguing about the 100,000 liters that I didn't use. Like I use probably more water than most people.
Well, not to make light of it, that is our formula now. We have to go with it. If we can find a different way, we're certainly going to try and look into it.
But can I ask you people all the snow that's winter, you put it all in my garden? Maybe then I can grow something.
We don't want to damage your fence.
Then you're probably going to show you before the sewer because the water run into the sewer. Okay. I still think it stinks.
Thank you. So, a lot of us do.
Oh, boy, I wish, that they stood up like they do in whatever they're doing in Greece or something. They could begin to change this thing over. Here I am always arguing for myself.
5-2, Citizen of the Month.
Your Worship, that's my matter, but before I speak to that, I apologize to council in advance. I neglect to raise a delegation that are present and are here in order to deal with the naming of the history book, which was a contest that was put on was sponsored by the town as well, and the delegation is here, and I absolutely completely forgot to bring them up in additions to the agenda, and I'm wondering if council would be kind enough to allow them to appear after the Citizen of the Month award.
I don't see a problem. Council can okay with that? I don't believe that has to be a motion, does it? Okay, that's fine.
Thank you. In regards to this matter, Your Worship and Council, ladies and gentlemen, the Service Club is defined as an organization whose members organize work or activities intended to improve their local community. It's not difficult to listen to this definition and immediately think of the Strathmore Lions. Since their inception in 1938, the Strathmore Lions have been an integral part of so many town projects. This is a group that takes community involvement seriously and have been the key players in the creation of 2 community event signs, the Lions Spray Park, Strathmore Skateboard Park, and the Aquatic Center. Historically, they're equally impressive with projects such as Strathmore's first pool in 1946, where the Kentucky Fried Chicken outlet sits today. Not satisfied with simply putting smiles on people's faces with these capital projects, the Strathmore Lions believe in promoting health and education as well. Internationally, our Lions support the Lions Club of International Foundation, which focuses on humanitarian projects, the Lions Foundation of Canada, and through them the very worthwhile projects known as Dog Guides, Sight First, and Lions Quest. And finally, the Lions Recycle for Sight, which deals with the reuse of eyeglasses in needy countries. Locally, the Strathmore Lions can be seen volunteering at blood donor clinics, raising funds for student scholarships, or volunteering to install lifelines in seniors' residences. Annually, they host the Seniors Christmas Tea, the annual spring auction, and a Grey Cup raffle, with proceeds going to the Community Crisis Society, the Christmas Food Hamper Society, and the Food Bank Society. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm well aware that I've not included every project and effort that is undertaken by the Strathmore Lions. There's simply not enough time to complete that task. The point I want to make, however, is that this group is really what the Citizenship Award is all about. I'm extremely proud to live in a community with the Strathmore Lions and thank them on behalf of all citizens for what they have done and for what they continue to do. It's with great respect that I name them Council Citizen of the Month. I believe we have some representatives here, and I would appreciate if you could come forward and accept the plaque.
Would you like to record their names?
I'm president of the Strathmore Lions Club, Wayne Sharp.
Okay.
I'm first vice president of the Lions Club, Don Geiger.
Welcome. And congratulations.
Thank you. And I'll get one more. Sure. Thank you very much.
Bob. She wants to take one with you guys. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Worship, I move that Council accept the Strathmore Lions as October's Citizen of the Month.
All in favor? Carried. And your next delegation?
I would welcome the naming committee from the Centennial Falls Centennial Committee. We've got too many committees going on. Thank you.
Mayor, councillors, thank you for your time tonight. I had the privilege of working on the Strathmore Centennial Committee this year, and it was a real honor, a real privilege to work with fellow citizens of this town. They were hardworking, they showed the enthusiasm that we have for this town, and they showed the love and the pride in this town. Part of this committee also was tasked with the responsibility of finding a name for our new history book. There was many names that were presented in that contest, and it was very difficult for us to come up with the one that we needed to choose because there were so many good names that we could have used for that book. Now, with that in mind, the name that we chose is 100 Years of Memories. That was submitted by James Boss, B-O-S, and we have his telephone number. Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe you can state your names for the press, both of you.
Yes. My name is Michael Bell, and this is Elsa Bell of Hidden Secrets.
And you were chairing it, or I don't believe, were you chairing it, Mike?
Doesn't matter who chaired it.
No, I just want.
We all chaired it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Worship, if there's no questions for the committee, I would move that council accept the name of 100 Years of Memories for the history book, which is due to be released in the new year.
There's no further discussion. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
6-1, page 10, Municipal Development Plan Amendment. She's back. Tammy, go ahead.
If council has all the information required to make a decision on bylaw 11-22, it is recommended that second and third reading be given.
Thank you. If there's no further questions, I'm looking for a motion for second reading of bylaw number 11-22.
Your Worship, I'll make that motion for second reading of bylaw number 11-22.
You all heard the motion. Any further discussion? If there's no further discussion. All in favor? Carried. Looking for a third reading.
Your Worship, I move that we give third reading to bylaw number 11-22.
You all heard the motion. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Page 15, 6-2, bylaw number 11-23, method of payment of taxes. Now.
Good evening, Your Worship. Within this bylaw, there were two major objectives to be accomplished. The first was to remove the interest credit of 0.5% per month on tax credit balances. That equated to a rate of 6%, while the town receives 1% credit on deposits from the credit union. The second purpose was to change the penalty date from December 31st to January 6th, and that was needed as a result of the proposed closure of the town office between Christmas and New Year's. Thus moving it back 1 week into the new year to allow the public to make those payments before penalties were assessed.
Any questions of administration from council?
Having heard none, Your Worship, I would move that council give first reading to bylaw 11-23.
All heard the motion. All in favor? Carried.
Will the council give second reading of bylaw 11-23?
You all heard the motion. There's no further discussion. All in favor? Carried.
I would also move that council give unanimous consent for third and final reading of bylaw 11-23.
You all heard the motion. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Your worship, I move that council give third and final reading to bylaw number 11-23.
You all heard the motion. All in favor? Carried. And we're skipping 7.1, new business policy on number 1303. Page 25.
Your worship, administration is requesting the addition of a public works operations manager. This is a new position. And we have done a survey of municipalities of a similar size with similar positions. And I had given out a sheet earlier just showing the results of the survey. So we're asking for council to approve the addition of a public works operations manager to policy 1303 with a 7-step salary range of $35.40 for step 1 and up to $44.73 per hour for step 7.
Thank you. Any questions of administration? Hearing none. Yes, Councillor Rempel.
Through the chair for Linda, that starting 35.40 per hour, how does that fit into the survey that you have here from other communities?
What I've done is given you the communities that responded to our search, and I've given you the average of all of the results of the survey. So the average for step 1 would be a $73,629, and step 7 average is $93,041. So this would equate to the hourly rate for those.
That 35.40 would equate to the average?
Yes, hourly wage, yes.
Thank you.
The terminology of operations manager, does that have anything to do with wages?
No, it's just the position is similar.
Well, if you just call them operations superintendent, or there's sometimes the name of the terminology makes a difference.
Yes, and some of the results that came back were actually for, some of them are called supervisors, some of them are called superintendent, some of them are called manager.
So they're all in the same grid?
They're all in the same, yes,
Okay.
it's the same role. Just different title.
Okay. Councillor Rocky.
Your worship, through the chair, Linda, did I understand right, this is a new position we're creating, or is this a position that's been here before?
It is a new position.
Okay, if I can ask one more question, then why are we creating this position?
Go ahead.
Yes, your worship. In the engineering operations department, there's way too much work. It's hard for them to keep up, and we feel that we've got to do something over there to divvy out the work. So by creating this position, and I'm calling the managerial position, we need somebody over there to direct all of the public works people and to take care of that, so their director of engineering and operations doesn't have to spend so much time helping in that area. It's probably the most key position that we need at this time.
Any further questions?
I guess the only I see that BAF's numbers are right out of sync with everyone else. I'm wondering what change this would make if we remove the top, the highest and the lowest as something that is kind of normal to do in trying to get averages.
And I actually, Jesse had done some research, and the numbers that he had come up with were 72,150 on step 1 and 91,300 on step 3. So that would probably, if we took the high and the low out, would probably be more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you suggesting we should do that?
I do. I am. That's what I would.
Okay, so Jesse's recommendation then was for the 72,150 and step 3, 91,300.
Right.
Is that more?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what does, excuse me, through the chairman, and then what does that do to that 3540 and 4473?
That will reduce it slightly. I would have to go with that.
Because we have two figures here, and these, you know, one doesn't.
It wouldn't make any difference with this recommendation. All I have to do is go and calculate the hourly.
Okay. Thank you.
So we could still use the salary range and put it on the grid as hourly. Doesn't make any difference.
So you're looking for motion?
Yes, please.
Your worship, I'll make that motion. That council approve the addition of a public works operation manager to policy number 1303 with a 7-step salary range of 72,150 to, I didn't catch the second number.
91,300.
91,300.
And I would highly recommend this because right now we have very few outside workers, and this would certainly expedite and efficient and make things more efficient out there. I know it. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Administration has nothing. Committee of the whole. Can I have about a 2-minute recess, if possible?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Motion to have a 2-minute recess. Or do we need that?
2-minute recess.
All in favor? Carried. I'll give it a little entertainment. Committee and departmental reports. We're going to just go, if you've had a meeting, you're going to go all at once, and we'll start with Councillor Rembel.
Well.
Yeah.
That's a switch.
I'm kind of left.
I thought this would give me time to prepare. We did have an FCSS meeting last Wednesday. Just to regular normal stuff that happens at the meeting. We did, and basically nothing exciting happened, and we got through it, and that's my report. Basically, I have nothing to report, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Joe.
I was not able to attend the Wheatland Housing Authority's last meeting due to having to leave for an out-of-town funeral. Strathmore Municipal Library Board, we've hired an excellent person in the Assistant Director of Library Services. Summer reading program went very well. We also received feedback that we'll use to improve the program, and the participation numbers were very high. Renovations are coming along well. Windows have been replaced, as well as the entrance skylights. And lastly, we received a large number of DVD shelving units from the past owner of more than just new releases. This will help in the secure storage of DVDs behind the front counter. Strathmore Museum Board, no meeting in September. There will be one at the end of October. Strathmore Youth Center, separate registration night was held last Thursday and programs were filled. We'll be running some junior chef programs in Mad Science, and the next board meeting is tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Thank you. Beth.
Your Worship, the Wheatland Housing meeting I was able to attend. We finished the August 18th meeting, which was left unfinished. We reviewed and approved past minutes. Review and approve the financial reports, social housing business and lodge business, and the CAO and chair reports. We were briefed on the opening of Sagewood, the requirements and how admission is to be scrutinized and approved. The next meeting will be the 20th of October at 7 p.m. I missed the WFCSS meeting as I was away at my brother's funeral in British Columbia. Community Futures Wild Rose it's kind of a weird setup. I gave the report for September at the last meeting simply for the fact that the meeting came before our meeting. It happens occasionally, not very often, but in this case the meeting was before our meeting, so at our last meeting I reported on that meeting. The Names Committee, we were emailed 2 surveys that were sent out, and they were approved and taken care of. And we met last Monday on October 3rd to discuss a new subdivision name and 2 names that were decided to go into the Names Committee reserves list for possible future use. The next meeting will be called by the chair. And that's my report.
Thank you. Councilor Allen.
Our agenda meeting was held September 22nd this year, where the contract was ratified by the board. Financial and operational business reports were given, and it was just routine business. Chamber of Commerce, September 19th, meeting was held, and we are currently trying to get nominations for Business of the Year to be forwarded and voted on, and the presentation will be made at the next Chamber of Commerce dinner. Communities in Bloom, don't believe there's any meeting held, but I understand that we got 4 blooms this year. Yeah, which was kind of disappointing. We were sort of hoping for 5 blooms. COP, Citizen of Patrol was unable to attend. I had another commitment, and there's no meeting for board.
Thank you. Councilor Rocky.
Your Worship, attended the United Way committee meeting September 8th. General business was conducted. We did have a barbecue at M&M Meats, which they do quite often, on September 17th. Apparently, we raised about $800 to $900 as a fundraiser. That was good. United Way Committee welcomed Jennifer to the committee meeting. Excited to see the needs assessment progressing. And also her being present from the town administration position. General discussion to have increased presence on the committee. That was what it.
Thank you. Councilor Vogel.
Thank you. For Family Center Advisory Board, there was no meeting in September. Centennial celebrations, the Fall Gala will be held in 10 days. All appears in order. Ticket sales have really taken off in the last week or so. And this celebration of Strathmore's 100th birthday promises to be a very enjoyable evening. Strathmore Wheatland and Addictions team, we met on September 8th. The focus of the meeting being on how the positive ticketing program was proceeding. Members of the RCMP and Wheatland County Protective Services recounted some very interesting stories about their involvement with the program. It's clear that there's been some very positive results. Formal review will be undertaken this fall, but the program has been approved to continue into the new year. Calgary Regional Partnership, no meetings were held in September. The Arts and Recreation Foundation, that's the golf course. A meeting was held on September 13th. A number of revised drawings were present depicting what a new arts and recreational building attached to the present golf course could look like. Works continue to obtain some detailed financial information, including the locations for potential grants, and in general, the contribution dollars exist. It's also acknowledged that it's important to advertise the fact that the Strathmore Golf Course is indeed a non-profit incorporated company. Still, the Foundation's intent to bring this issue to the shareholders in the spring 2012 meeting to seek their support in this project. Hope Bridges Society Community Arts Center feasibility study, a meeting was held on September 27th. Due to the fact that I was in AUMA, I was unable to attend. And lastly, Walkability, which was approximately 35 people were present for the introduction of the Walkability Roadshow on September 26th. The roadshow was hosted by Alberta Health Services and focused on bringing a more focused culture of walking to Strathmore. Presenters emphasized the benefits of walking, as well as providing some great examples of how walkability and transportation in general is becoming an integral part of the planning process in communities around the world. All the participants were given an opportunity to suggest ways to improve the walkability in Strathmore. And some of the issues raised have already been dealt with. For instance, the rather short walk signal on Highway 1 and Lakeside Boulevard has been brought to the attention of Alberta Transportation, who will be looking into that issue. I should mention that our pathways and level of walkability did impress the visiting experts, and we look forward to their report, which will include other suggestions and areas in which we may improve. And lastly, the group was quite impressed with Mayor Graychuk's proposal to begin a Walking with the Mayor program in October. And I got the sense that he'll have some company if that project ever does take off.
You didn't say what year, did you?
No. That's all I have, Your Worship.
Thank you. But I have good intentions. Thank you very much. The CRP executive met in September, and there was much discussion again about the rural partners joining or not joining. The rural partners are allowed to attend the meeting. They're encouraged to attend, provided they get on the agenda. But the County of Wheatland has respectfully declined to be a partner or associate partner with the CRP. Maybe someday they will. It's a big discussion about wanting the rural partners. They surround our communities, and they're a big asset to the whole CRP program. So we're trying to move forward with inviting them to the partnership. The Bow River Basin, again, is a big discussion. There's some very much big concern about the shortage of water supply in the year 2050 to 2075. And if we don't do something now, that's why I emphasize that we really have to conserve water in our local communities. Like I say, I can't emphasize enough on how much concern there is with the Bow River Basin water supply. So that if they don't do something now with reservoirs in the very near future, there is a major concern, and this is not the do-gooder talking this. It's studies that are being done now, that there's a major concern that we'll be very, very short of water by the year 2075. So they're thinking of already remanaging the water supply so that it's a constant supply year-round, and maybe putting more reservoirs upstream on the Bow River. So it's something that we all have to be concerned about. It's not just Strathmore, it's everybody in the whole area that's got to be majorly concerned about the water supply. It's going to be more valuable than it's talked about all the time. It's going to be more valuable than gold or oil or anything. The levels have dropped considerably in the last few years, even with the amount of snow and snow melt that we've had, or supply we've had. Anyway, that's much of the discussion. That's pretty much it. I always have to attend these meetings in Banff. I apologize for that. That's pretty much it. Yes?
Your Worship, I just had one further thing. I would like to personally thank the councillors and the town of Strathmore for their condolences and best wishes in regard to losing my brother.
Thank you. If there's no further questions on the committee reports, 10 to walkability again, Councillor Sobel.
No, actually, I just asked that be included in the committee reports, Your Worship, and I've already spoken to it. That's the one where you're going to do the monthly walk.
Yeah. I'm making a motion to accept these reports.
Motion that council accept the council committee reports for information as presented.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Council Recommendation 12-1 Bison, do you have a...
Oh, we missed one.
Where did I miss? Questions, but we never usually have that one, but okay, go ahead, what's the questions?
To the chair, to our CAO, just wondering if you maybe give us an update on what's happening at the Strathmore Hotel.
Things are going slow. We talked about this morning again, that some of that's got to be done, because if it's not done, it's going to be too cold to do some of that outside work.
Is it anticipated that the outside work will be done before winter?
We are told it will be, and our fire chief will continue to push to get it done. We admit it's been slow.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
Just one in regards to that same thing. Through the chair to the CAO, if they do not comply with what's required, what steps are taken?
We always have the right that they can be shut down.
Thank you.
Is there a timeline?
Linda can comment.
I have a meeting with Harry this week to discuss the hotel, that's what the meeting is about. So once we've had the meeting, I can provide council with the results of the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. 12-1, there's no further questions?
Your worship, I had one short one for administration. Just want to ensure, I've had some people asking, do we have a timeline that those modular buildings will be staying at Strathmore Lakes?
I can comment unless you want.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Don't find a word.
No. Anyway, Al Bergman went put the units there without asking. And so, of course, we got calls on it, and several calls. There's several units out there. I phoned him. He said that a friend of his had them in Calgary, bring them out. They're on their way to Saskatchewan. They'd be gone in a week. I know it's always longer than that. So we had the planning department send a letter to him, and he was not very happy about it. And I don't know the results. Do you?
Yes. I know that the planning department has ordered them to remove the buildings. They are on just on pine.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I can provide additional information tomorrow as well.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. I would, yeah, let's be on him. He promised me that it'd be 2 weeks at maximum.
Yeah, and this is a safety issue. So
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. And I'll work with you on that for sure. If I have to talk to him, I will. 12-1, Bison. You have a program for advertising rates there in front of you. This gentleman phoned me, Bruce McAllister, used to work with CTV or one of the TVs, I think it was CTV, and asked me if we'd be interested in supporting the Bisons. It's our only major hockey team in Strathmore. I took the liberty of saying that I personally will support them with a $200 business card, just so that in case when it does come out, it will say, there's me the mayor on it, so to speak, but I'm paying that bill myself, and I'm not trying to be a hero with that. I just like them so much, and I think that this is good for the children of the community, and I'm not worried about if other organizations ask for it. Money, it's just something different. And I guess they're asking, Town of Strathmore wants to buy a advertising program or not. Just your thoughts on it. If you don't, that's fine.
I'm fully behind the UFA Bisons, and I think it's a small cost for a team that goes out and spreads the word, the name of Strathmore amongst some international communities when they hit some of the tournaments they are in, and I certainly don't feel that this is exuberant cost.
I would say business card size, it's $200, but they're all over the country, and they give us a lot of beer. Councillor Rocky.
Hi, Your Worship, I'm fully behind this too, but keep in mind we also have the Strathmore Wheat Kings, so I would suggest we support both of them.
Any further discussion?
Strathmore Wheat Kings, by the way, are made up, is that what the name is now, or did they change that?
Wheatland Kings.
Wheatland Kings, yeah, but they do, in no way at all am I trying to slam the Bisons, but the Wheat Kings are all local product.
Any further discussion?
I'm just saying if we're going to support one, we should be supporting both.
Let's wait till they come forward. This is a request, individual request, they're not on the agenda, so.
What size that?
The business card size.
For the town of Strathmore?
Yeah.
Is that big enough?
That's big enough, yeah.
Well, for $100 more, you get a quarter
Yeah,
page.
I'd rather go a quarter page.
It's up to you. Okay.
2/4 page?
Your worship, if I could, the only thing that concerns me is I know it's individual as teams come, and I don't mean to speak against this at all. I just want to be cognizant of the fact that there are other teams and other clubs that may also start coming forward, and I worry about having to turn some teams down when we approve others. I know the Bisons do a great deal for us, as well as the Wheatland Kings. I just worry about the precedent.
Including others. So what's the council's wishes?
I'd like to make a motion that we support Bison's with quarter page ad.
You all heard the motion, any further discussion? All in favor?
I had one more question.
Yeah, sorry.
This $300 is for the season?
Yes.
I'm on board.
So, what's the count?
12 games. Yeah, okay.
What's the count? Hands, please.
5.
5 to 2 opposed. Carried. Motion for any further notes on anything on the agenda, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor? Opposed?
Is your turn now?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got